Chapter 783. Trump was very excited when he heard his brother's question. He replied excitedly, "Of course it's true. I'm willing to pay $1.2 million for it." Michael replied, "Okay, since you really want it, then you can transfer the money over to Mom's bank account. After that, we'll consider the furniture sold to you." Trump was very satisfied and he quickly replied, "All right then. Why don't you send the sofa set over to our villa at Beacon Top now? After the sofa set is unloaded at the villa, I'll pay up immediately." Michael hesitated for a moment on the other end of the line before he replied, "Okay then. The sofa set is already in the truck now and we can transport it over to the villa at any time now." Trump hurriedly replied, "Okay, I will meet you at the villa at Beacon Top then. See you there." After he was done speaking, Trump hung up the phone immediately before he said excitedly, "Alex, you've guessed it correctly. They are going to sell the sofa set to us." The expression on Elaine's face was very ugly at this time. She had not only been slapped in the face because of Michael's words, but most importantly, she was very annoyed because they would be left with no money at all if Trump paid for that old set of sofa for $1.2 million. As she thought about this, Elaine could not help but feel extremely depressed. She was glaring at Alex with a very cannibalistic look on her face at this point. Alex did not even bother to talk to Elaine because he knew exactly what she wanted. The more she did not get what she wanted, the more interesting he felt it was. It so happened that Alex's entire family was also done shopping for their furniture. Therefore, they quickly hopped into their car before they drove directly to the villa at Beacon Top. The renovation for the villa at Beacon Top had already been fully completed. Aside from the lack of furniture, everything else was extremely luxurious. The renovation and interior design of the living room was simply magnificent. The entire floor was polished with natural marble and it was so shiny that it looked like the reflection of a mirror. Elaine could not help grinning from ear to ear when she saw the extremely luxurious and beautiful interior design of the villa. Trump was also inexplicably surprised and he said excitedly, "When we saw the villa the last time, the decoration was not completed yet and the living room was still covered with scratch-resistant floor mats. I couldn't see the villa in detail yet. However, now that I'm looking at the finished product, I feel as though our villa is even more luxurious and elegant than the King's Palace." Since Emma was also in the renovating and refurbishing business, she could estimate the cost of the renovation and interior design of the villa at a single glance. Emma pulled Alex aside before she whispered, "The renovation and interior designing for this villa had probably cost tens of millions of dollars. Why is Mr. White being so generous towards us?" Alex replied, "He's a very rich and wealthy man after all. He could easily give away a villa worth more than $100 million, so I guess spending tens of millions of dollars for the renovation means nothing to him at all." Well, Emma could not help but say, "This is the first time that I've ever seen such a luxurious and elegant residential property. Somehow, it feels a little scary." Alex simply smiled without saying anything at all. In his mind, he still had his memories of the Anderson family mansion when he was still a child. In his memory, the Anderson family mansion 10 or 20 years ago was even more luxurious than this. As Emma and her parents were all very amazed and impressed with the luxurious decoration and design of the villa, Michael and the truck transporting the sofa set had already arrived at the entrance of their villa. Trump was overjoyed and he hurriedly rushed out to direct the porters to move the Hainan Lexington sofa set into the villa. At this time, Lady Richard brought Michael, Harold, and Olivia with her as they stepped out of the car to take a look around the courtyard. After the renovation was completed, the courtyard looked even more luxurious and beautiful than it was before. The four of them could not help but feel very envious and uncomfortable. Michael went inside the villa because he wanted to make sure that the porters were doing everything right. When he came out of the villa, he had a very ugly expression on his face. Lady Richard could not help but ask him, "So, how does it look inside the villa?" Well, Michael sighed before he said uncomfortably, I've never seen such a luxurious and elegant interior design for a villa in my entire life. I'm so envious. Is that so? Lady Richard was very curious and she hurriedly said, I want to go in and take a look for myself. Harold had also wanted to see the inside of the villa and he hurriedly said, Grandma, I'll help you. Olivia could not help but stare at the villa with a very complicated and perplexed feeling. She used to be Daniel's fiancé and Daniel was the son of the White family. Since this villa was owned by Daniel's uncle, Hazel White, she would have been able to visit this villa often if she had married Daniel. Besides that, she might have even been able to live there.